Hi everybody. So what did teaching in the schools teach me about life? Let's start with the simple thing. Talk about the law of attraction, the law of vibration. When you walk into a classroom as a teacher, every single student in that classroom, they can feel your energy and they're going to mirror the energy. And I would say that the younger, the more likely they are to actually mirror your energy. I did internships in kindergarten classes and throughout elementary school, but I taught mostly in middle and high school. And it's the same thing for them. As the teacher walks into the classroom, the students mirror their energy. Think about when you were in high school and how the different environments of each classroom, how it affected you. So me knowing this, knowing that my energy is going to dictate how the class goes for the most part that day, I knew that before I went to school, before I showed up at 8 a.m., I had to be on point. I had to have my energy right. I had to have enough self-care, enough alone time because I'm an introvert. So being inside the schools all day long, that was tough for somebody like me. And as an empath, for sure, that was tough for me. So I had to be on point. I had to make sure that my energy was on point. And how does this connect to real life? Well, it's the same thing out here. You may not realize it all the way, but the cashier, your neighbors, your family, your friends, most of the time, they are mirroring you. If your energy is high, their energy is going to be high. If you talk really excited, they're most likely to talk really excited. That was the biggest thing for me that I learned as being a teacher, is that you are the leader of your life. You are the person that is in control of your life. Of course, we have God, the universe, and we're co-creating this, but you are in charge. You are in charge of your focus and what you do. So when I left the class, or when I left the school at 4 p.m. that day, I had a choice on what was I going to do from 4 p.m. until about 9 or 10 o'clock at night before I went to sleep. And those choices were huge on how successful I ended up becoming as a teacher. And I ended up having a lot of success as a teacher because I took advantage of those hours from 4 to 10 p.m. and before school, to where I took care of my energy. I was reading books. I was doing personal development. I was figuring out myself. And to this day, I continue to do this in my own business, my own coaching and teaching business. I continue to spend the time to where when I'm not working with clients and I'm not recording content and I'm not doing in-person events, I'm taking time to do that self-care, to take care of myself, to take care of my energy, because every time I think back to when I was teaching in the class, in the public schools, I always remember that. I always remember that when I went into that class that day and I had the low energy and I was feeling angry or sad or whatever my emotions were that time, it was so much harder getting the momentum of the class to go, to get them to do what I wanted them to do. And what I wanted them to do was learn, to communicate, to share their experiences, to have this safe space that's in this classroom to where they feel safe to share their insight. Well, if a teacher walks in the classroom and they're feeling all angry and they're letting their personal life carry over into the classroom, obviously that's going to affect the students' feelings, and it's going to affect whether they feel safe to share. And if you're a teacher in a classroom, the best thing you could do is ask powerful questions, get the students engaged, and have them share their experiences, their perspective. Well, in order to do that, I had to make sure my energy was on point. Another thing that teaching in the public schools taught me was to be 100% authentic myself, because the students can know the difference. Just like they could read your energy, they're looking at your facial expressions, they're looking at the way that you're saying what you're saying, if you really mean it. They're looking at every little thing, every little detail about you, whether you know it or not. And they know you being a teacher, you're with them 40 hours a week or so, Monday through Friday. They know you sometimes better than your own family knows you. So understanding that they know when you are not coming from your heart, and they will call you out on it, especially the school that I taught at. Some of the students didn't care. They will say whatever they wanted to in the moment if they felt like it. So it could hurt your feelings. And it did hurt some of the teachers' feelings because they will call you out. If you're not being authentic, they will call you out. And why is that such a great life lesson? It's a great life lesson because that's how everybody is. That's how all people are. They want the real you to show up. They want you to speak from your soul. They don't want you to think about what you're going to say or say something because it sounds good. And I started to translate this more and more into my personal life and into everything that I did. I would always remember, until this day, I always remember I must be authentic, because when I wasn't authentic and I went in the classroom, the students called me out on it. And if they didn't say it directly, it was an indirect experience, if you know what I mean. So being authentic, it was such a valuable life lesson that I learned being a teacher. And there's so many more. I could go on and on this video and continue to talk about all the things that I learned being a teacher that I still apply into my life till this day. Subscribe to this channel, watch my other videos. I will be posting videos every single week to inspire you, to give you insight, and to help you move forward in your life.